Pride Month right now, and you haven't, it's Pride Month, right? It's fake, it's like made up. But you didn't see any corporation change the logo. You're seeing this like neck snapping cultural change, right? Like I went to Target.
I saw that. I saw that whole piece.
Bro, like they'd have a MAGA section. They have a name only, without the name. They have a MAGA section.
It's a patriotic section of the store.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like it looks like almost like a John Rich house level. This is the most patriotic house on earth. It's like a John Rich level, like patriotism, like flags and happy families and stuff, and fatherhood and motherhood. And I couldn't believe it. It's like culture's changing, and like the last archaic thing is like that all celebrities and all musicians have to go out and support Democrats. It'd be really nice to break that, and maybe it'd be nice to just have like. Whereas, like, celebrities maybe, like, stay out of it, almost. Like, because who literally cares about your damn opinions? We know you're all, like, managed. We know you're all, like, controlled. And maybe just stay the hell out of it. Like, did Beyonce really think through her speech, Lizzo and Usher really, like, think through their endorsements? They really, really thoughtful. They're about as thoughtful as Joe Biden pardoning 8,000 people,
But I do think it is authentic that those artists you're naming did support Kamala Harris. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They weren't there under duress. But they probably did calculate, okay, a lot of my fans don't support Kamala Harris. So if I'm going to do this, even though I do support her, if I'm going to do this, I'm probably going to take a hit with my fans who don't support her. And they go, how much money would it take to get you on stage? They go, I don't know, $2 million. Thinking they probably would say, that's too rich for our blood. We can't do it. They went, fine, here you go. Whap, 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 whap. And that's how she spent over $1 billion in like 6 weeks, right?
She spent billions in 100 days. Yeah.
Right.
Billions.
That's actually hard to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So that system's breaking down. I think that people like saw. Do you think there was some Diddy blackmail going on?
Well,
here's my evidence. Here's my evidence. Now I don't know the industry. You're from the industry. You know these. You know people. But like I watched Usher go out on The View and be like, I'm not going to endorse anyone. I think you should just, vote who you like to vote for. And he said that, and everyone roared into applause, right? He's like, it's an important time. Make sure you vote, right? And then it'd actually be really refreshing to hear people just be like, I hope both teams have a good time, right? It'd be almost like more, but like
get out the vote, kind
of
thing.
Like they'd be almost nicer to see that. But then like. Then like articles kept dropping about like him being in all these Diddy tapes, and then next thing you know, he's out on stage with Kamala Harris. Do you think there was any like kind of blackmail going on? Do you think there's ever blackmail with these celebrities, like endorsements?
The only reason you would have your house rigged with cameras and then create situations like that is so you can have blackmail. That's it. It's the only reason Epstein did it. It's the only reason Sean Combs was doing it, and probably a lot of others we don't even know about. That they do that to get the blackmail on them. You know that. I think maybe one thing Bongino and Cash Patel are probably looking at right now are the people who were set up, invited to those situations, didn't understand what it was, and found themselves in a room where something horrible was happening. And that blackmail's been being used on them, and they're having to go through, what did he say the other day? Tens of thousands of pieces of content that the FBI is now looking at. And, a lot of the conservative crowd that voted Trump and loved Bongino and loved Cash, they're screaming bloody murder. Why don't we have it yet? Why don't we have it yet? But if you think about that volume of content out there, how long would it take you to go through that piece by piece by piece and delineate who was guilty of participating and who was just standing in the back of the room horrified by the situation? And you got to delineate through all of that stuff. So, and I know that's not what you were talking about, but I think that's important to bring up because a lot of people, I'm sure you've seen it online, are very upset that Cash and Dan have not dropped a big bomb yet. What is your opinion on that? That is a massive, that's like a Mount Everest level of content. I would like to see them drop something.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but I don't know what they're dealing with at this point, what they're looking at. What do you think?
All right. So I got the pragmatic take here is that if the government has all this blackmail information on the most powerful people on it, how do you control Bill Gates, right? So the year is 1999. How do you control the most powerful, richest man in the world who runs the most powerful company in the world? Microsoft. I mean, you got to like get him tied up with a very young Russian bridge player, which is exactly what they did. And he cheated on his wife with this Russian bridge player. And then it was the Epstein extorting him. and he has it on camera, and he cheated in Epstein's mansion, right? And so it's like that's how you control a Bill Gates. Melinda Gates straight up it's told this entire story. The Wall Street Journal's reported it. It's all out there. And the government has that on Reid Hoffman. They have that on all of these very, very powerful individuals, except for Donald Trump, which is why they hate Trump so much, because they can't control him. But is the government ready to give up all that? Because once you put that information out there, your blackmail power is gone. And so pragmatically, like, does the government, like, what incentive is there? You have to balance the incentives between, like, the value of the information you have and the ability to control royal families, prime ministers, foreign intelligence agencies. And you have to balance that against, obviously, the fact that Epstein was working with foreign intelligence agencies. I mean, Dershowitz was on our stream live saying that he introduced Epstein to Mossad. That's what Dersh was on just like a week ago saying that. It's like just a little piece of information. So I think you have to balance that. I love Cash. You know Cash well. You know Dan well. These guys aren't scum. They're not deep state. They're not trying to hide things. But I worry that there are layers of this that go so deep. There's layers that go so deep that are so secret, and they've had control. They've like unified control for decades now on this information. And I worry that like what they do is they take all the information, they put it in a black box that literally no one can get to, and that's called the deep state. I think that's what they have on Diddy. It's like, why is this Diddy case being thrown? You know, Maureen Comey's prosecuting this Diddy case. It's like James Comey's kid. She prosecuted Epstein, wrapped that up real nice. Prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell. Nothing ever came of that. She's in a white-collar prison down the road from where we broadcast in Florida. And where's the information?
Well,
you never see it because it's too valuable blackmail information is what I'd say.
Okay.
So like, have you? I mean,
well,
do you believe that you're the music industry celebrity? Have you ever seen anything like that? Have you ever seen any like Diddy? Did you ever get any suspicion that there was like a Diddy operation going on? And not accusing you of anything, but like these people, right? You know these executives. You know this industry. You've been as big of a celebrity as Diddy. You are as big of a celebrity as Diddy, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think that. I think a lot more people know him than know me. But I think that, back when we were hotter than a match, selling millions and millions of records, you would be at the Grammys or whatever, and somebody might invite you to a party, and you go there, and everything looks fine, and then you would see people kind of trailing off to somewhere. Where are they going? You know, I'm up here hanging out with this artist that I think is cool or whatever, and I just kind of stayed to myself and had a good time with it. No, I never really saw that, but you hear about it.
Yeah,
you've heard about it, and so if you're at one of them parties and something looks weird, time to probably go, just get out or whatever. But I know you didn't come to my house for me to argue with you, but I'm going to push back on you a little bit.
Please.
On when you're talking about this blackmail stuff. Okay, it's one thing to say that Bill Gates was running around on his wife with a Russian bridge player, and they don't want to give up whatever they've got on Bill Gates. But when you start bringing kids into the situation, and you've got adults that are abusing kids and sexually abusing kids, and sometimes even worse than that, and that is going on, your blackmail be damned, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
No, absolutely not. Those people, once they know they can protect the victim that's in that content and make sure their name doesn't come out and they are protected, that's a big one too, because there's thousands of kids that are involved in this content that exists out there, this blackmail content, thousands of pieces of content. You got to protect the victims of this stuff. And then you got to find out who was standing in the back of the room going, holy cow, where's the door? How do I get the hell out of here?
Yeah.
But once you figure that part out, Benny, you better drop an atomic bomb on these people. These people need to be cuffed, walked off to somewhere where we never see them again. Send them to El Salvador. Send them to Guantanamo. So give them, listen, Trump said early on when he was running for re-election, he said he thought that anyone who sexually abuses a child or traffics children should receive the death penalty. Do you remember him saying that?
Bro, I live in a state that does death penalty for pederasts.
So Trump said there should be a federal death penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've got people on camera that have been abusing kids and you go, there is Mr. So-and-so doing that to a kid, then at some point, you're damn right they've got to drop it. I don't care what blackmail they think that's worth. Here's your blackmail. we're going to haul all you people off and nobody's ever going to see you again. Would anybody else like to try this in the future? I'm sorry, do we have any takers? Because this is the new rule. The new rule is if you hurt kids and we see it and we find out about it, you're never going to be seen again either. You understand?